Hello and welcome to the third webinar series of Timor-Leste. This webinar is actually very special for today, which is called Unlocking Timor-Leste's Petroleum Future Exploration and Development Insights with Timor Resources. Actually, Timor Resources is a very good company that is very close to my heart as well. And today we have Dr. Simon joining us, which is the Chief Operating Officer and Exploration Manager from Timor Resources. Hello, Dr. Simon, and thank you so much for joining. How are you? How was your day so far?
Good afternoon, Karam. Thank you very much for having me on this afternoon. I'm having a great day and I'm really looking forward to our conversation.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time for being with us in this webinar. We have a lot of questions from the audience. A lot of people are excited to hear about Timor Resources and what is going on in Timor Resources. Is there any kind of projects going on? Is there any kind of case studies that we're looking forward to see for Timor Resources? But I want you first to start, let's say, sharing the Timor Resource positioning in terms of the Timor-Leste. Like, for example, could you share how Timor Resource is positioning itself as a key partner in Timor-Leste petroleum sector? What makes the country attractive for upstream investment? How do Timor Resources start to expand to Timor-Leste as well, and being one of the key partner within the region?
No, thank you, Karam. And again, thank you for the opportunity to appear on the webinar today. So a little bit of background into Timor-Leste, and then I'll take you through Timor Resources opportunity there. So Timor-Leste, an island sat between Indonesia and Papua New Guinea here in Southeast Asia, a little bit to the north of Australia. What is really exciting about Timor-Leste is that, in contrast to many other parts of the world, Timor-Leste is an undeveloped petroleum play. The presence of hydrocarbons there has been proven both in the offshore, but also in the onshore through drilling over many years. But due to various political events, the development of the sector has been slower than elsewhere. That's a real opportunity for all participants, particularly in the onshore, where there has been no production in modern times. And so what Timor Resources has two permits onshore Timor-Leste. It's held those permits for a number of years. And what we have done is taken those permits from Frontier, where we had a small number of legacy wells that were drilled only to very shallow intervals. And we've now acquired seismic. We acquired that seismic as part of our work program. We've processed and reprocessed that data. We have included all the other data that is available from the area. And then we drilled a program of 3 exploration wells. Importantly, they are the only 3 exploration wells that have been drilled onshore Timor-Leste in modern times. From those 3 exploration wells, we've made 3 discoveries with oil and gas proven at various levels. As someone who's worked in the exploration industry for over 25 years, I don't think I've ever seen a play or a part of the world where an operator gets 3 out of 3 with their first 3 wells in a play. So this is very exciting. And I'm really excited to be working with Timor Resources to develop that resource first through a program of appraisal wells and well testing. So coming back to the question, that's what Timor Resources is doing in terms of becoming a partner in Timor-Leste. We have a very constructive relationship with our joint venture partners, Timor Gap, and with the regulator. They're looking to accelerate the development of an onshore petroleum sector, which will provide a great impetus for development of the country, but also developing skills and capacity within the Timor population itself.
Mm-hmm. That's great to know, Dr. Simon. There's a lot of things going on within the region as well. I'm glad to hear about Timor Resources positioning itself as a key player. Of course, these discoveries that you are making within the region is highly impactful, and there's a lot of insights going on as well. Talking about exploration and data, for example, what kind of milestones does Timor Resource actually have? Is there any kind of technical insights that guided your current strategy? If you have to, let's say, give advices to other operators to come to the region and expand to see the resources of Timor Leste as well. For example, is there any exploration milestones that Timor Resources is setting for, let's say, next year or for 2026? Is there any kind of visions, any kind of insights going on that Timor Resources would like to share in terms of milestones, in terms of new discoveries, in terms of new exploration as well?
Yeah. So as I said in my answer to the first question, we've drilled 3 exploration wells. We're the only people who've been acquiring new data onshore in recent times. So that puts us in a leading position. With those 3 discovery wells, what we're planning is a program of appraisal wells. And this is really exciting because looking at those well results, what we see is we have the potential to appraise our discoveries and also to undertake extended well tests that will enable us to prove commercial flow rates. For various mechanical reasons, we weren't able to do an extended well test last time, even though we were able to recover hydrocarbons for the wells. We couldn't get a sustained production rate. So that's what we're working on. We're specially designing the wells to make it as likely as possible that we get a successful test, and leveraging everything that we learned from the 3 wells to ensure that we drill them A, safely, but B, efficiently and cost effectively, and make it as likely as possible that we get that commercial flow rate, which will enable us to move rapidly to development. Importantly, in terms of our strategy and being onshore, we do not have to wait 4 years or 5 years or spend 100 or 200 or $300 million to reach development. What we can do is we can move from our extended well test. We may be able to monetize directly from that test, but equally we can suspend those wells and we can build out a early production system and generate revenue for Timor Resources shareholders, but also a production for Timor-Leste as a country. We believe we can do that very fast, maybe within 12 months. And so we've got a very rapid monetization for Timor-Leste and for Timor Resources. With that, again, because we're onshore, what we're thinking of is moving quickly from those extended well tests through to a program of development wells and incrementally building our production. Onshore, we can move quickly, we can adapt, and we can learn, and we can roll out that development so that we've got a production profile of several thousand barrels a day within a very short period of time. I think that makes us a very attractive investment and a very attractive project proposition.
Mm-hmm. Correct, Dr. Simon. I mean, thank you. With these 3 discoveries, there's a lot of course, successful kind of case studies, successful projects among Timor-Leste as well. But in terms of, let's say, steps, what kind of actual required steps, if you would like to have the transition discoveries into commercial development? Okay, we have done these discoveries. We have discovered 3 major discoveries in Timor-Leste. How we can turn them into a commercial development? What kind of challenges or opportunities do you even see along the way after you have discovered such discoveries in the region? Is there any kind of challenges? What is the opportunities? And how can you transfer or transition them to a commercial development, with a development, of course, with a commercial angle as well?
Yeah. So every development that we would want to do, we would want it to be economically commercial and economically beneficial, both to ourselves, but also to Timor-Leste. So that's what we're working on. And as I said, we're onshore. So our economic hurdles that we have are very achievable. You at the current oil prices. So we've got an economic development that we can build scale on there. There are, of course, a number of milestones that we need to pass, a number of hurdles that our investors have asked us to do. So the first one of those being that we achieve those commercial flow rates. The next one after that is to achieve early production. And then after that is to achieve further development wells and build up that production profile. So that's the commercial opportunity in terms of those productions. There are a number of milestones that we need to work with the Timorese authorities to achieve the right compliance hurdles, the right set of approvals. I'm very happy to say that we've had a really constructive discussion with ANP through the approvals for our appraisal wells, and we're looking forward to executing that program.
Mhm. No, that's totally great, Dr. Simon, as well, regarding the transition discoveries into commercial developments. I'm sure there is a specific plan that you are saying with, of course, ANP support. I think this is definitely can be executed as well. But when we have a lot of discoveries within the region, usually operators or companies seek a kind of investor or partners. For example, you spoke about Timor Resources with Timor Gap and Timor Resources with ANP as well. So I would like to ask, what kind of types of investor or partners is Timor Resources seeking? Is there any kind of a new investor or partners that Timor Resources is working with, such as, of course, Timor Gap, ANP, or even other international partners? And even I would like you to let's say give an advice to international players that is willing to join Timor-Leste energy sector. You have an experience of 25 years doing explorations as well. And as you said, this is your first time seeing a 3 out of 3 discoveries going on within the region. So if you can, let's say, seek an advice to the international players who would like to expand within the region to discover such discoveries, what would your advice be to them?
Okay, well, if I can answer the last question first, I think the answer in terms of the players participating, well, they should come and work with an experienced operator. And I think what we've got is an 8-year track record of working responsibly, efficiently, and effectively within onshore Timor-Leste. So if you want to invest in Timor's onshore energy sector, then please come and talk to us, because I believe that we have a leading capacity there.
Mhm.
Now, what type of investors are we seeking? Timor Resources is a privately held Australian company. Our board is seeking to bring in investment. We can provide further details of that process on request, but in simple terms, we're looking to bring capital into the business and broaden the capital base of the business so that we can fund our appraisal program and our early development program. And then those investors will be well situated to participate in the full field development that I believe could be coming within 12 or 18 months. We have, without going into the detail of exactly how the production sharing contract works, but given that we've been operating for 7 years, there's a substantial cost pool within the business that enables a very rapid return on initial investment for any entrant. So I believe we're a compelling opportunity. I believe that we've got a near-term development opportunity, and Timor-Leste is, while on a global level, an unknown jurisdiction, it is a low-risk jurisdiction, and we've got a long-term track record of operating efficiently and in partnership with the Timor-Leste regulators and our local community. We're really proud of the strong community relationships that we have.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, Dr. Simon. I mean, there's a lot of course, international players who would like to participate in Timor-Leste's growing energy sector. So I think you can seek the advices directly from Timor Resources as well, since they are the leaders of the actual industry in Timor-Leste. and of course take their discoveries as a case study to your own companies as well. In terms of investors and partners, I mean, of course, other than that, you have the actual government that is supporting Timor resources on the ground. And the next question I wanted to ask Dr. Simon is, how are you collaborating with the Timorese government or the ANP to build local skills or even supply chains that have a long-term economic impact? I have seen with the social media that Timor Resources is actually very heavily, let's say, investing in local content and actually supporting the Timorese economy, the Timorese, let's say, people as well. So actually, Timor Resources is very, let's say, heavily investing in this, and it's having a lot of long-term economic impact. If you had to talk about it, let's say, how are you really collaborating with the Timorese government? Why do you have a plan for local content and supporting the Timorese economy as well regarding that?
No, really good questions, and super important, because this is about a partnership between Timor Resources as an investor and the Timorese government and the ANP as the regulator in order to realize the opportunity. And that's how we see it, and that's how we experience it working with the ANP. To acknowledge the team, therefore working constructively with myself and our team to do that. What does that mean tangibly on the ground? Being onshore, it is we are absolutely committed to involving as many local people and as many local contractors as we can. So, for example, we have our supply base onshore inside our permit area, staffed with people from the community. Wherever possible, we employ local people, both in our office in Dili, but in our crews when we're drilling, when we're acquiring data. We seek to train and mentor individuals. In fact, just yesterday, we were talking about our program for the upcoming year and how where we might acquire and utilize new technology, where we bring a technical expert, how we might work with Timorese to build capacity in new technology. All of this enables us to deliver our program, but also leaves behind a legacy of improved skills, improved experience, and we believe a long-term economic impact. As we move to development, we see that we will be employing and training local operators. We will be using local crews. We will have local field operations. Wherever possible, we will be using local contractors, and we want to build out that capacity. We've got a track record of using local supply wherever possible, only using international contractors and expatriate labor where absolutely necessary.
Mhm. I mean, thank you so much, Dr. Simon. Exactly. Timor Resources is really heavily investing in local content and even local, let's say, staff or people of the Timorese. And that's why they are actually supporting the nation's economy as well by doing that and actually helping the economy of Timor-Leste as well. Dr. Simon, before going to the last question of today's webinar, I would like to ask the audience to write their questions for Dr. Simon and Timor Resources. And of course, if applicable and we have more time, I will be presenting them at the end. Dr. Simon, I would like to ask you, it's a very, let's say, insightful question for the future. Let's say, where do you see the country's petroleum industry in the next decade? I mean, there's a lot of discoveries. There's a lot of things that it's not really discovered yet in Timor-Leste, but where do you see Timor-Leste going in the future, or how is, like, let's say, Timor Resources contributing to the shaping of the future of Timor-Leste? Timor-Leste has a lot of, let's say, onshore potential and even offshore as well that is not being discovered yet. So where do you see the country's petroleum industry going, let's say, in the next decade and 2026 and 2030 as well? And how is Timor Resources contributing to shaping this future as well?
Okay, I'll share my vision for the
Mhm.
future. I think starting at the bigger scale, what we see around the Asia Pacific region is a very mature petroleum industry, but a population and set of countries that is becoming structurally short of energy. Into
Mhm.
that comes Timor-Leste with a relatively immature petroleum, as a relatively immature petroleum province. So the opportunity is there for the taking. So what I see for Timor-Leste is that focusing on the onshore is what we can do is build a long-term sustainable production profile that will last for many years from our three discoveries. And we can build that using local resources and local content wherever possible. We see a substantial further exploration opportunity. It's important to say, I think our three discoveries are only just the beginning, that we've got a very interesting set of plays that are potentially material on a global level. So what we want to do is get our first production away, then start a program of development and at the same time exploration of some remaining material opportunities. If those material opportunities are successful, and in exploration, it's always an if, but if they are successful, then the opportunity to build out a globally material petroleum industry on Timor-Leste is significant, and we'll be able to build uh, that business within our permits and build out that capacity onshore Timor-Leste. So I'm very excited about that possibility. There are always milestones, ifs, buts, and maybes, but I'm really excited about the next decade that we've got within Timor Resources permits, and I hope that I have a small part in executing them.
Mhm. No, thank you, Dr. Simon. I mean, if I had to put my comments as well, there is a clear, good leadership within Timor Resources as well. There is a vision, there is discoveries, and there is this plans that, of course, Timor Resources is executing. And there are certain kind of milestones every single year that Timor Resources is actually contributing to Timor-Leste's economy as well. So there's a lot of good developments in Timor Resources and in Timor-Leste as well within the region, and there's a lot of things to discover onshore and offshore as well. But Dr. Simon, thank you so much for joining us. Within today's webinar, and I think hopefully everyone will get to see Timor Resources at the fifth Timor-Leste Energy Mining and Business Forum in Delhi. Hopefully in 24th to the 26th of November, and you will see Dr. Simon there, and of course Timor Resources team. So thank you, Dr. Simon, for joining, and I hope that you have a great day ahead as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Karam. I'm looking forward to being at the event in Delhi as well, and looking forward to meeting you and everybody else at the show. So if you've got any questions that occur today, hold them until the show, and I look forward to answering them then.
Great. We look forward to it as well, Dr. Simon. Thank you and have a great day ahead.